Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Conscious Awakening series, your podcast to support your spiritual and cosmic path. I'm your host, Sheila Seppi, and today my guest is Gosha Dushak. Now, before I bring her on, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep grounding breath in. Breathe in gratitude for your life. Get nice and grounded. Taking another deep breath in and out. You can open your eyes and step into our call. So welcome back, everybody, and welcome Gosha. Now, before I bring Gosha up, I want to tell you just a little bit about her, and you're going to be glad that you grounded because she's going to take you out of this world with the information that she has to share with you today. But Gosha was born in Poland, and at 22, she left her home and she lived in the US, Australia, Costa Rica, Spain, and currently she's in Finland. And I actually became acquainted with her work by a friend in the Netherlands. And she's like, oh my gosh, you've got to listen to this lady. And I'm so glad that I did, because you are bringing through some spectacular information. Now, before I get too far into telling you more about her, I want you to know that she's a graduate from Queensland University. She has her degree in comparative religion. She's also the owner and the producer of the YouTube channel Cosmic Agency. Now, I think that she has tons of people all over the world that are actually helping to translate this, because people really want to know her information. I know it's done in Spanish, and I'll have you to tell us a little bit more about that. But I think at the present time, she has over 450 videos. I would recommend you start at the beginning. If you're like me, it's like, oh, I can't wait to find out the latest details. But since 2017, Gosha has been in almost daily contact and direct live written contact with the Taygetan Pleiadians, which is a crew that's orbiting the Earth. Now, I came to know Gosha, as I said, from a friend in the Netherlands. And one question that I always wanted to ask her, that I'll ask her today, that I just can't wait to ask. So let me go ahead. I want to bring you up, Gosha. And if you would, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. So
Thank
welcome.
Yes. Hi. Hello, everybody. Hello, Sheila, and thank you very much for your invitation to this program. Well, I don't know what else to say about myself, actually, because you expressed it well. You shared more or less what's important here about me. So I don't know what else to add just about myself. Yes, we have been in this written contact almost daily, even though there are some breaks here and there, since 2017. And just want to specify, it is not my information, because it sounds like, yeah, I'm going to bring this Gosha on, I want to share her information. I actually myself have almost no information myself. It's all coming from them, from the crew.
Yes.
Whatever I add is, or I explain, is just my understanding of this information, of their information, of what they share, of what they have to say. I don't channel anything, so it's not mine. It's not coming. It's through my own filter.
Right.
And yeah, I do have some, understanding of the information here and there. So I'm not downplaying myself completely, but the information is theirs. And it is given to us directly in writing. We share this on our video in our channel, Cosmic Agency in English and Agencia Cósmica in Spanish, undistorted, exactly as it was said. So if you're interested in what one of the extraterrestrial races out there has to say, and that is Taygetan Pleiadians and Svarus, which is like an offshoot of Taygetan Pleiadians, but that's another story. If you are interested in that, come and see our channel. And you don't have to see the videos, because like you said, there's just so many. You can look at the transcripts and read the information. We share the written transcripts of the chats with them. on our website, which is www.zvaru.org.
Beautiful.
So that's just a very, very short summary of an introduction of this.
Yes.
I will have some other surprises as we go along. So keep watching.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I want to ask you two things. First, I want to ask you how you came in contact with the Taygetans. And secondly, are you yourself a Taygetan?
How did I come in contact with them? Well, it was back in 2017. It was through my friend Robert, who is my Spanish partner. We do this together in this work together. He does this in Spanish. He met them first. So how he met them was through another lady who was at that time in contact with them, because they were in contact with many people. It's not just us. And now they are not so open anymore to be in contact with the humans on Earth, but back then they were very open, and they were in communication with numerous people all over the world. So we got in touch with them through another lady. She introduced us. That's how it started. So am I myself Taygetan? In what sense? I was born on Earth.
Yes.
This avatar has been born on Earth. So in that sense, I am a human living this human experience. But I have been told, even though I don't have any memories myself, that I am in the Taygetan immersion program, which is, I don't know if you want me to explain this now. It's where basically they have their bodies laying in stasis or in hibernation immersion pods, and they divert their consciousness to the previously chosen avatar, human avatar on Earth. This is how many extraterrestrials actually choose to have the human incarnation on Earth. This is how they incarnate and enter the Earth cycle as walkings, but through the technology, through the immersion cycle. There are other walkings that come straight from the source, but I came in through the immersion technology. So in that sense, you could say that my consciousness is from there. However, I do not like to say it this way either, because I do not like to identify myself with any vehicle and any race. I feel I am much more than that. And we all are so much more than just one identity, one race, one name, one planet. So so that's how I see it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, one of the things that I hear you speak about often is you receive written transmissions. And I'm curious about that. Are they sharing information and you write it? Are they just handing you the written information? You know, can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah. I don't like that term transmission too much, because they are not really transmitting anything to me. It's a personal chat. We talk to them like we would talk to anybody that we know, any friend or a family member through the online chat. Sometimes I can turn on my audio so they can hear me. However, on their side, they have various restrictions, so they cannot turn on their audio. However, we could hear them a few times here and there, but that's like another subject also. I went against the rules. So it's not a transmission in the sense that they are like coming and we are going to transmit now. It's not as mysterious and new agey as it, as many people understand it. It's just a simple chat between people, like you would talk to anybody. So these videos and transcripts that I make are based on the chats, on personal conversations that we have in various topics, or sometimes maybe some of them have longer than just a chat thing to say, some kind of a larger monologue, as I would say, and then I would make that into the video too. But it's not a transmission, so to speak, because it sounds like I would be channeling and now I'm transmitting. It's a chat. It's a chat between people, because they are people. That's important.
So as I understand, the Taygetans are in orbit of the Earth, and basically somehow you guys communicate through a chat, some kind of a chat line.
Yeah, it's a normal chat line. Like, in the past you had MSN, Hotmail, or something like that. They have digital computers, because even though they have their so-called holographic quantic technology on board, they don't use this to enter our human computers and internet. So they need digital computers, and that's how they enter our internet. In one of the videos, it was explained exactly how it is done, how the signal is rerouted from where they are using servers and satellites. I don't know exactly now, because I'm not very technical, so I don't remember these details, but they enter a normal chat software that we have here, and this is how we communicate. Sometimes it is by specific hours, but recently it has been more spontaneous. So whenever any of us is available, then we meet and we chat.
Beautiful. So I have some topics that I sent to you that I definitely want to talk about, but do the Taygetans have like any specific theme that they're really hitting on right now? Like, it's like, we really need to talk to you about X, Y, and Z.
No, right at this very moment, there isn't, as far as I remember, one specific topic that they are stressing to talk about. Sometimes it happens. It happened a lot in the last 2-3 years with you know what. So that what we talked about that a lot, and they had a lot to say. We have on our Odyssey channel, important to mention, because many of our videos are actually censored on YouTube, so we have to put them on Odyssey. So on Odyssey.com, Cosmic Agency, same channel, you can see those more delicate subjects, like everything that happened in the last 2-3 years. They were giving us a lot of warnings about this, and analysis, lab analysis about exactly what's going on. So that was that. At this specific point, there isn't one topic that they like to mention. They are mostly responsive to our questions. So if we ask about, for example, what's happening in Hawaii at this point, so they would explain what they know. It's basically, we talk a lot about metaphysical subjects, so they are very interested to talk about that, and we have a lot covered in that area. But they also explain a lot about exopolitical, scene, how the Earth's politics, and the situation, the Earth affairs mixes with the cosmic level and the Federation. We talk a lot about the Federation, but we also expose a lot of Cabal's agendas and how they manipulate people. So we give a lot of warnings to people about that, which, by the way, sometimes people say that we are negative or something because we are focusing on that, but we strongly believe that we want to know, and we want people to know about what the Cabal has in store for people. So this way you can define what it is you want, what it is you do not want, and you can resist that, not give your consent, be informed. So that's our philosophy. So if you watch our videos, you're going to get a lot of that as well, Cabal's agendas. But there's just so much scientific, technological information about how their starship technology works and time travel, and we talk about ancient stuff, and just too much for me to cover in very few sentences.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Now, one of the things that I really want to ask you about, and I know the Taygetans have kind of a different viewpoint than what a lot of people are sharing these days, and that has to do with the solar flash and Ascension. Can you just kind of share their points of view that they've shared with you about this?
Yes. So the whole topic of Ascension, and yes, it is a bit different from how it is understood, I believe, in the established spiritual circles, from what I understand, because I haven't been following much myself either what's going on in those circles recently. But in order to understand how they view the topic of Ascension, we need to understand how they understand the topic of densities, because here people on Earth understand this ascension as some kind of a glorious transition through the 4D into the love and light realm of 5D. And they say to us that this is a very human interpretation of how things are. It's not exactly how it is. And people on Earth understand 5D, so-called 5D, everything outside Earth, so to speak, because now I'll explain that it's not exactly like that either. You can be 5D on Earth as well. They understand that realm as this kind of a very light and free of problems realm where, you know, they will wake up to that realm one day. Ascension is coming, is occurring to them, as opposed to them becoming that event. And everything will just disappear. All the problems will disappear. But they explain to us that the life outside Earth is not as easy, as problem-free as people imagine and believe. In a way, you change your problems for another set of problems, because they still live within duality. They are people, they are physical beings. So, okay, so now talking about densities, how to understand this in order to understand ascension. People who talk about ascension and us going into 5D, they understand that as us going somewhere, or ascension happening to us, as if we're going to wake up, like I said, and we're going to be transported into this glorious reality, as if we were living in a density. But they explain to us, you are not living in a density, you are a density. You individually, you are a density, and we all are individual densities. We are all individual frequencies of the existential realm that we perceive and we generate. So what you think, what you choose to pay attention to, your values, your emotions, that determines the frequency of your existential realm, which is your density. And no two people live in exactly the same density. Yes, so 5D, you can be this right now. You don't need to wait for that to happen. It's not some kind of an exterior occurrence, an event that's what the New Age and those circles want you to believe, as if it's some kind of a saving moment in the future that you're supposed to wait for. You are the density, and you can be it now. In fact, you are in all of them at once already, because you are source. Now, if you are source itself, it means that you are all the densities already within yourself. You are all of them at the same time. You are multi-density being. They like to say multi-density, not multi-dimensional, multi-density. So now, us being source, what determines what frequency we will be how much of this all of the source we will be able to perceive, how much we will allow our point of attention to embrace as our reality. That will determine the frequency of our existential density through which you will operate. That's going to be your density, how much of the source you perceive. Right. That's the density of the soul, that your soul. So working on your expansion of your spiritual vision is key in raising your density. It's not some kind of an external event. It's extending your perception capacity, how much of the all you can bring into your reality. It's not coming from the outside. It's something mental. It's coming from you. So there's no waiting for the ascension. They keep telling us this is very important. No waiting. It's not something, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's going to happen if you allow yourself to perceive more of the reality. It's up to you. It's not, it doesn't depend on anything outside. That's why they told us it's very dangerous to follow these. There is going to be an event, or there is going to be this and that. Ascension is coming. No, it's coming if you allow yourself for that to come. You are the ascension. And now, sorry, I'm getting like excited talking about this.
Great.
and they give us an example. You can take a person with a 3D mental capacity, a bit more narrow capacity, and take them to another planet. But that person, even being outside the earth, will remain 3D because he will be very attached to the 3D ideas, to the 3D matrix ideas, or the reverse. They can show us interstellar life and they can come here with their technologies, but people still will be very 3D. Nothing's going to change because it's your mind, it's the level of consciousness that the person has that determines that density and frequency, rather than where their body is. So now what happens with the group ascension, with the more collective ascension, if you ascend yourself, which I don't like that term because it's like already tainted by that, new age ascension, I like to say expansion. If you yourself expand, then by frequency correspondence and match, and by agreements of perception among other people who are similar to you, never the same, but similar, then you hook up to others who are similar, and that will generate that collective density realm. It will look like it's the same. It will never be totally the same because we are always individual timelines and density, but it will be sort of collective. So only through that we will generate that higher density. By us raising it and hooking up to others who are the same. And in fact, they are also explaining us that after all, from the most expanded point of view, there are no densities. Yes. Because actually, and that's a kind of controversial subject and difficult for people to grasp, because here we are talking about 3D, 4D, 5D, but they actually don't like to talk about that because they see it as all one big mass. And what defines one from another, what differentiates one from another is a set of ideas about it in the mind of the person who tries to explain it. So it's only that. Now, some people talk about those energies, cosmic energies coming from somewhere else, activating us, and maybe that causing some sort of ascension or raising of the frequency. Well, sometimes, and we can talk about this when we go into the solar flash, there are those galactic waves, cosmic waves that do happen occasionally here and there, and they do raise the frequency. Aneka was one of our girls that we talked to in the past. She called it a cosmic ayahuasca. So it's kind of like comes and hits everything, including the sun, every now and then, and it might raise the density level, but it's also you who decides how you respond to that. It's only something that propitiates the awakening, but it depends on you, how you tune into it, and if and how long you remain in that, what you do with it. And also I would say that talking about cosmic waves coming to help with the ascension, I do believe that it's the star seeds themselves that represent that cosmic wave. We are incoming here to transform that collective energy field by introducing more of our essence into this mass dominant frequency of the earth. And those more global social changes will happen only if enough elevated people link up their individual density realms together. And this can be done through the telepathic etheric field. And that's why so many star seeds here on Earth, because that's what they do. Right. That's what they bring into this Earth. I have fewer points to mention. Yeah, and then I'll give you. Because here I'm going through my points a little bit. Now, some people might also say that 5D ascension, it could be not just your spiritual expansion, but it could be means that, well, we will be open to interstellar existence and technologies and all that. ETs will come and we'll be living this glorious life together with our star families. Well, that's a bit different subject, even though it's all connected. But here, other elements come into play, and even the Federation, which is very important element here. The Federation comes into place here. The soul's desires from beyond for this realm come into play, and that's a very complicated subject. What the souls really want from the Earth experience. They don't want the change. The mass souls, we want the change, the star seeds, because that's what we remember. That's who we are. But the mass collective, I do believe they don't really want the change, not to that degree as we want that change. So to summarize, they perceive this whole topic of ascension as just something imposed, new age. Some new age ideas are okay. Not everything is wrong, but I'm saying this now in a more not so positive way, that they see it as a new age imposed, not really reflecting reality, causing the waiting mode in people, as if waiting for something. So they tell us that the way that they sell you a 5D world, an ascension to the 5D world, is an impossibility, not as people understand it, because there's still duality, there's still conflict. It's not going to be just all love and light. It is not. I will stop here after this monologue.
Okay. So one question that I have pertaining to this subject is, a lot of people talk about the fact that Gaia herself, the consciousness of the planet herself, is the one going through an ascension, and that she is making a shift. Have they made any comments about that?
You see, this is also something that I think falls into many so-called new age ideas. I'm not saying that it's not totally correct. There may be some kind of an element there, but they never talk about that much. Rather, they say there's nothing wrong with the Earth. There's no need. The Earth is already where it's supposed to be, and it is already in 5D. It's just that we are not perceiving. Like I said, we are all of it. It's just depends on what fragment of that all you perceive. So we do not perceive the totality of the Earth that it already is. However, like I mentioned here, maybe I will mention about the solar flash, because it might connect. There are those natural waves that are high vibrational waves and high vibrational energy waves that are affecting everything, the solar system, the planets, the Earth itself, and they do help with the elevation of its frequency. Let's call it that way. So it does happen. But they told us that there is no specific solar flash that would be threatening to Earth. A lot of people talk about this kind of an event as some kind of something catastrophic. So they take that off the table completely. Like they say, there are solar flashes all the time. The galaxy, like I said, the galaxy itself gives off these natural spiral-shaped waves. And maybe I can read this, because this will give you an idea of how they write. This is what they say about these galaxy waves. As they move faster, those waves, high vibration energy, they move faster than the matter around it. They impact the whole system temporarily, increasing their frequency. A sun is the energetically most sensitive part of any solar system, so it reacts to the incoming wave a lot stronger than the other components like the planets. The sun acts much like a relay station that aligns temporarily with the incoming frequency wave, sending off its own waves in turn in the shape of solar wind. That is why people confuse solar activity with the incoming high-frequency galactic waves. So the solar activity, that's why there's a lot of solar activity, because of what I just explained. Although it has to be mentioned that the sun also has other events. There's a lot of solar activity apart from that. It has its own temper and personality, and it's connected with other suns. So there is a lot of solar activity, but there's nothing wrong with the sun. There is no simulation sun, by the way. There are those theories out there as well. The sun is a simulation. No, sun is real, is there. Nothing wrong with the sun. No disastrous solar flash happening. And like I said, and that galactic energy wave is affecting everything in the solar system, so it could be affecting the Earth, Gaia itself. That goes back to the original question. But they never talk much about that.
Okay, great. Now, in 1999, I came to Earth. I'm a walk-in soul, and there was a complete switch. Some of the information that I brought through has taken me many years to first be able to understand what it was that I was trying to remember. And the other thing was to be able to find the language for it. Because prior to walking in, I had never read a metaphysical book. I had no foundational knowledge about any of these things. And so over the last 20 years, I have, come to understand and to be able to step more into my truth. One of those truths being the false matrix, and that, our planet has moved from its organic state of being to being affected by frequencies that are being artificially imposed on the planet, creating mindsets that were never intended for us to experience. And I was so excited when I heard you talking about that. And so I was wondering if you could explain just a little bit more from the perspective of the Taygetans about the false matrix.
Okay. Well, this is a big subject as well, but yes, I never know. Once I am on a roll, I know how to speak, but sometimes it takes me time to find the first sentence. Like, what angle do I begin this from? Because it is a complicated subject, but I'm trying to make it. I'll try to make it very, very short. Summarize this: that yes, in the times of Atlantis and Lemuria, all these extraterrestrial colonies here commingling together on Earth, and we have videos about that as well. After that time, which I guess that's what you would call organic way of living on Earth, there was a time, there happened an event that was the destruction of Tiamat, of the planet. And the reason for that, again, is it was part of the larger Orion wars and cosmic battles and all that. But anyway, the planet Tiamat was destroyed, and as a result, there was a certain imbalance in the solar system. So it was decided by the Federation, which is a conglomerate of thousands of different races. It was established to install a set of frequencies from the moon, which is a Andromedan damaged biosphere ship. It's artificial. That's what they explained to us. So the set of special limiting bandwidth was sent off from the moon towards the Earth. The Van Allen bands were created. One of the reasons, there are many reasons, was that the recreation of the balance between solar system planets after the destruction of Tiamat. The moon had to be brought closer, etc. And then, like I said, the frequencies started to be sent off towards the Earth, limiting artificially, technologically, what can be perceived, how much of the reality can be perceived from Earth. So yes, we are living I said this in a very, very, very summarized way. You have to look at the videos to understand more. But yes, in a way, we are living in this artificial construct that was initiated very, very long time ago. However, and this is super important, now what sustains the matrix are not those lunar holographic transmitters. That's actually not even working very well anymore. Separate story why. But now what sustains the matrix in its 3D limited perception is the mind of the people themselves. So because people say, what about if you just switch off that holographic artificial transmitter from the moon and we'll just wake up? No, we'll still be where we are. Maybe it will propitiate a little bit. It will like punch a little bit, for us to be able to grasp a little more. But the majority, the bulk of the people will still be maintaining the so-called 3D on Earth. What's sustaining it now is not just the moon technology, but like I said, it's a people's perception on Earth, but it's a manipulated perception. Yes. We are guided towards certain perception of reality. So in a way, it's us who are generating that, And there are many reasons for that. It's also generated from the higher levels, because the souls from the higher levels, we kind of want this experience on Earth for now to experience this limiting sort of life. It's a challenge for the souls. So sort of we are generating that, but it's also the darker races, the Cabal and all that, generating that for us as well, and manipulating us towards certain understanding of reality that is not really there. It's all imposed, it's lies, it's based on manipulation. It doesn't reflect anything from the outside reality. So it's a very complicated subject. Here we can also talk about the Federation, because the Federation plays a very important role in establishing and keeping all this in order. So it works the way it works. Mm-hmm. And the Taygetans and Svarunians explain to us very much about the politics behind the Federation and how they manage this Earth. So the idea for them is to give us information, knowledge, and inspiring, empowering stuff. So we wake up from that manipulated and guided, established, imposed reality that doesn't really reflect reality. It's just something imposed on us. So that's their job. That's one of, because they have a lot of tasks. And this is just one of their inspirations to wake us up from that.
Wonderful. Now, yeah, each one of these subjects we could talk for hours about. Huge. And I'm definitely going to have to invite you to come back again so we can talk a little bit more about things. But I wanted to check in with you because I can't believe we've only got like 10 minutes left. It's like, is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you would like to share with the audience?
What I told you about before that I want to share with the audience, the surprise. Well, I just want to share with you that apart from my channel, that is, sharing the information that they share with us in the conversation, you have to check Maris Varu's channel. And do you know about Maris Varu?
No.
Oh my God, you have to. If you follow my channel, then you will be amazed to know that there is a girl called Maris Varu on Toleka, on board with the Taygetans, who belongs to the Varu line, which is an offshoot of Taygetans. She's only 15, like I said, and she has started to produce her own videos since December. She publishes one every day. It's in Spanish one day, and then it's in English. And it's like, I don't know how many videos she has already, but it's a lot. And she writes it all herself, and she produces it all herself, all the images and everything. It's written by her. So there's even less intervention here from us, from me, no questions asked. It's just her transmitting. Here it's more like a transmission, but it's direct. It's her. And it's not just her. I have to say the channel name. It's called Zvaru Oficial. But Oficial with one F. I will send you a link later.
Okay.
Oficial with one F. The picture of the girl, that is her. That is her real picture. That is her with some filters. And except for her, apart from her, there is a Taygetan man with his partner. He's called Zael, and his girlfriend is called Arien. And they are also making videos. They are less frequent than Mari, and they are a bit different. They focus more on like psychological help for starseeds. But his channel is called Za''L, Zael. So you will be just mind blown by the amount of information that not only we have on our channel, but then Maris Varu shares. Just yesterday, she shared the topic about the human politics and how it mingles, how it reacts, how it works with the extraterrestrial politics, how it's all involved, and how the Federation is the ultimate manager of the Earth. The Federation and the souls, both. And this could be a topic for another video. How is it that the Federation rule the Earth, but also us? The souls rule the Earth. It's both, and it's not contradictory. And maybe we can talk about this in the next subject, in the next video.
Sounds amazing. And thank you so much for sharing that information. And
You're
if you
welcome.
will send me the links, I'll make sure that we put that below this video so people can find that. And also, could you once more please let people know how they can find you?
Cosmic Agency on YouTube. If you speak Spanish, Agencia Cósmica, and also Despejando Enigmas, that's Robert. And the website is svaru.org. SWARUU.org, where you will have all the transcripts of all of us, Mari, Zael, Robert, me, and some other contactees in the past as well, their information. So if you ever, like, I always say this because this is what I've always wanted myself. If you, before I had this contact, if you want to know what they have to say, what the extraterrestrials themselves have to say, if you are not satisfied just with seeing lights in the sky and following the starships in the sky, this is it. I believe, and I'm biased, but I do believe that this is like one of the most revolutionary contacts because it's so direct and there's just such a vast, huge amount of information. I said it.
Wow. Wow, that's absolutely phenomenal. And so, folks, you've got to check out Cosmic Agency. I'm so excited to have you here. I want to thank you again for being our guest today. And also, let's talk about getting you back so we can talk about some more of these exciting subjects. So, to everyone who has been watching, I thank you so much. Check us out on the ConsciousAwakeningNetwork.org. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify. We now have our own global radio station, and so many of the podcasts are also being aired there. So, check us out. We're around. And until we are back together again next week, again, thank you for being here. Much love to everyone, and namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.